So hello, welcome back to the channel and welcome to one of the last videos of 2020, and I thought it would be a great idea to summarize and share with you a sort of overview and roundup of my experience racing in the Caterham Academy series. First of all, I want to say massive thank you to Caterham and the entire team organising a Caterham racing series in 2020. If you'd have seen behind the scenes, the calendar juggling, the logistics, all of the new rules that Caterham and basically anyone organising a racing series in 2020 amongst COVID-19 had to deal with was unbelievable, actually. So first of all, hopefully the Caterham team are watching. Thank you so much for pulling out all of the stops and ultimately allowing us to go racing in 2020. But also a massive thank you for giving me my first step into racing. I've always wanted to do it. It's been a dream and ambition of mine from a very early age, and to be able to have done it in such an exciting and fun championship has been remarkable. Now, something I will say, and this is no disrespect to Caterham at all, but one thing that I did identify throughout this journey is that it was really hard to convey, first of all, how exciting Caterhams are to drive. From an outsider or anyone who's never sat in one, they can look a bit of a old kit car, and that isn't a disservice. It's just they are an older car, and I don't think they necessarily have the most aspirational image at first. But I tell you what, you get in one of those cars, you put it on track, oh my god, it is one of the most pure, distilled and engaging driving experiences. And I think the most important word is fun driving experiences you can have in something with four wheels. And then you take that package, the perfectly organic and well-balanced package of a Caterham Academy car, and then put it on a grid with other like-minded people who are beginning their racing journey from a very similar position as yourself. The recipe that Caterham have baked over the years. This isn't a series which has just happened overnight. Caterham have learned how to make this the most enjoyable series by doing this for years and years and years, and they've tweaked it and evolved it to create the Caterham Academy package, which, since I've started this, I've looked at other sort of entry-level racing series. And honestly, you would be hard-pressed to find anything as accessible and enjoyable as the Caterham Academy. It's also incredibly valuable. This is not an exaggeration when I say you could do 1,000 track days and not come out with the same driving experience and enhancements as you would from just 6 or 7 races in a Caterham. There's something about test days as opposed to track days and actual race days which get your cognitive switch dialed up to 11 and pull out the driving abilities that you didn't know you actually had until you get into that sort of slightly higher pressure environment with other people around you all trying to elevate their own game to pull out better lap times, better overtaking strategies, etc. If you want to become a better driver, go and race a Caterham. It is like being thrown in at the deep end and kind of forcing you to fast forward your driving ability to an immeasurable amount. The confidence that I have, I already classed myself as a fairly competent driver, done countless track days, but I cannot stress enough the difference between a track day and a race day. This far apart. They are just totally different things. So if you want to just improve driving, just get your race license, which you get as part of signing up to the Caterham Academy. Do some test days, because just the difference in spending time on track on a test day is night and day from a track day. Also, you're allowed to time as well. And then race days, different ball game. There's so much more to it though. I did learn, not quickly enough actually, that you can win the race before you've even got on the track. The difference it makes by finding a qualifying partner is huge. It's because Caterhams, by their inherent design, have the aerodynamics of a house brick. And so there is this strategy which plays very strongly into this series, which is known as getting the aero toe. That involves drafting a Caterham in front of you to help punch a hole in the air, giving your car less wind resistance, therefore getting that extra few miles an hour down a longer straight to gain those extra time advantages. Now, if you don't have a tow partner during qualifying, it doesn't matter how quick you are, if there's a guy on that track who is a similar speed to you, who does have a tow partner, he is just by the nature of physics going to get a better qualifying time than yourself. Took me about 3 races to figure that out. So there's all sorts of strategy involved in it, but you very quickly become to learn all of that. This year, we ended up having 6 or 7 races. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the challenges of organizing a racing event during the COVID-19 and lockdown was such a challenge that honestly, as sort of late as March, we weren't actually sure if the Caterham series would actually happen. But lo and behold, remarkable team who is running that program over there managed to make it happen. And in order to get the same amount of seat time and races, and importantly signatures on your racing license, so you could upgrade and go on to do other things, they still managed to do that. We still managed to get the same amount of seat time, albeit some of the races were duplicated. So I think it was Brands Hatch. We actually had a double header there. And we also had a bonus race as well at the end of the season at Donington. So we dropped Silverstone, which was a shame because it's a fantastic circuit, home of Formula One. And we also had to drop Anglesey as well for logistics reasons. Oh, and Knock Hill too, which, to be fair, for the majority of the grid, long way away. So I'm not sure anyone was too fussed about that. But as an overview, I've had so many people ask me about this, messages, emails, DMs. I couldn't recommend it more highly. It is just one of the most fantastic, engaging driving experiences you will ever have. It will improve you to no end. You'll meet some great people, you'll make some great friends, and I think all in all, what I found is that you will get bitten so hard by the racing bug that you need to be prepared for it ongoing. Because at the end of that season, you know what's funny, on the build up to each race, there's so many nerves and you're like, actually, I am bricking it here. Am I enjoying this? It's a really odd balance of massive nerves and being slightly scared. When you line up on that grid, you realize that this dream you've had of going racing is actually happening. And after it's over, you just want to go and do it again and again and again. And I think in terms of a platform which allows you to get into it, one thing which I hope Caterham don't mind me saying is I don't think they've done a very good job of letting people know that they can finance this. So I say that because of all of the people who have emailed me and DM'd, etc., to say, I'm interested in doing this, their follow-up is, yeah, but it's pretty expensive. And I agree. It is. As far as the racing world goes, actually Caterham is not expensive at all. It's still, you know, it's going to be a touch over 30 grand for the season. So yes, before everyone jumps to conclusions and goes, what? Yes, that is still a lot of cash. But in terms of the world of racing, motor racing, that's actually not too bad. And Caterham are one of the few people that allow you to finance that. So I didn't know this at first. I turned up thinking, okay, 30 grand's 30 grand. One thing I will say, a lot of race series, 30 grand would be for the series, never mind the car. The Academy, you get your car, you get fantastic support from Caterham themselves, you get your ARDS racing license, you get loads of test days, and at the end of it, you keep your car. So it's not 30 grand to go and race it and then buy the car. You get the season and the car and all of the stuff that I've just mentioned in that. You can finance it, and then if you want to continue, don't forget you've still got this car, which is, by the way, a road legal car. So it's not a track-only car. You can still go out and use it on the road. So in effect, you've got 2 cars in one there. But you can take that car and upgrade the same car for a pretty small fee. You could upgrade that car for the Road Sport series, which will then take you on to the second year of racing. I haven't found any platform yet that allows you to get into such close and such engaging motorsport as this series. And I'm only realizing that now. Now I've started to explore other series. The cost has taken a J curve. It's just gone fairly obscene, actually. But this is what's made me realize the value of it. So anyone thinking about it, I don't know, do all of the research you want. Take it from me, I've done a lot. And I still can't think of it. Particularly now I've finished it, I still can't think of a series which will provide such great fun and value. I was only on the podium once, came away with 1 trophy, but that's okay. It was my first year. Loved every second of it. Don't get me wrong, there are frustrating times when you just can't break that particular lap time. You feel like you've reached a ceiling, which is where some training can help. But overall, I'm definitely a much better driver for it. It's kickstarted my racing path. And truthfully, all of this wouldn't have been possible if I hadn't have started here. So thank you very much to the team at Caterham. You've done a wonderful job. You've got a fantastic series. And I hope that anyone watching this thinking, should they do it, who have been following this, if you can, you've got to do it. It's fantastic. And amongst a pretty glum year that was 2020, the fact that we had these races to go to, people to meet, there was still this social interaction was fantastic. So yes, just wanted to recap, say thank you, show some highlights of the racing during this take, and hopefully you guys will be able to join me for an equally exciting series next year. As always, thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year, and I shall see you on the flip side. Ciao.